She vanished after the biggest scandal in sports history. What she looks like now will leave you stunned. Elin Nordegren was once one of the most talked about women in the world, not because she asked for it but because of who she married. When she tied the knot with golf legend Tiger Woods in 2004, the media hailed them as the perfect couple. She was beautiful, graceful, and quiet. He was on top of the world, the most dominant athlete of his time, but in 2009 their fairy tale crashed, and the whole world watched it unfold in real time. The scandal was everywhere. Headlines, TV, talk shows. But what most people don't know is what happened to Elin after it all came crashing down. Today her transformation is almost unbelievable, and her story is one of strength, silence, and powerful reinvention. Elin wasn't born into the spotlight. She was born in Stockholm, Sweden, in 1980, and lived a quiet life before moving to the United States. Her mother, Barbro Holmberg, was a respected politician who served as Sweden's Minister for Migration and Asylum Policy. Her father, Thomas Nordegren, was a prominent journalist and bureau chief for Swedish radio. Growing up in this intellectual household, Elin was exposed to the world of politics and media from an early age, but she remained grounded and focused on her studies. She studied psychology and worked hard in school, showing an early interest in understanding human behavior and mental health. This academic foundation would prove invaluable later in her life when she faced unimaginable personal challenges. Elin was known among her friends as thoughtful, intelligent, and fiercely independent, qualities that would serve her well in the years to come. Eventually she landed a job as a nanny, working for families who needed someone reliable and trustworthy. That's when her life took a turn. While working for Swedish golfer Jesper Parnevik and his wife Mia, she met Tiger Woods. The Parneviks introduced them at the 2001 Open Championship, and what started as a casual meeting soon blossomed into something more. The two started dating quietly, away from the cameras at first. Tiger was already a global superstar, having won his first Masters at age 21 and revolutionizing the sport of golf. But Elin wasn't intimidated by his fame. She valued privacy and authenticity, qualities that initially drew Tiger to her. However, once they went public, everything changed. Suddenly, Elin was no longer a private person. She was the future wife of the most famous athlete in the world. They got married in 2004 in a lavish ceremony in Barbados. The wedding was a carefully orchestrated affair, with tight security and exclusive guest list. People said they were perfect together. Tiger was winning major after major, and Elin stood beside him smiling but silent. She rarely gave interviews and seemed uncomfortable with the constant media attention. She wasn't seeking fame. She wanted a peaceful life, focused on family and personal fulfillment. The early years of their marriage seemed idyllic from the outside. They traveled the world together, with Elin supporting Tiger at tournaments while maintaining her own interests and friendship. She was often photographed at golf events, always impeccably dressed and composed, but she never sought the spotlight for herself. Her role as she saw it was to be a supportive wife and eventually a devoted mother. They had 2 children, a daughter, Sam Alexis, in 2007, and a son, Charlie Axel, in 2000. From the outside it looked like the perfect life. Tiger was dominating golf, earning millions in prize money and endorsement. They owned multiple homes, traveled in private jets, and seemed to have everything money could buy. But inside, cracks were beginning to show. What the public didn't see were the growing tensions in their marriage. Tiger's demanding schedule, the pressure of maintaining his perfect public image, and the constant scrutiny began to take its toll. Elin, who had always valued honesty and authenticity, started to notice inconsistencies in Tiger's behavior. There were unexplained absences, secretive phone calls, and a growing emotional distance between them. Friends later revealed that Elin had begun to suspect something was wrong as early as she was an intelligent woman who had studied psychology, and she could sense when something wasn't right. But Tiger was a master at compartmentalizing his life, keeping his public persona separate from his private struggle. He was dealing with his own demons, the pressure to be perfect, the weight of expectations, and ultimately, the destructive choices that would bring everything crashing down. Then came November 27, 2009, a date that would forever change both their lives. Tiger crashed his SUV outside their Florida home at 2:25 a.m. At first the story was unclear. Tiger was found unconscious, and Elin was there with a golf club, claiming she had used it to break the car windows to help him. The initial reports suggested it was a simple car accident, but the timing and circumstances seemed suspicious. Within days the truth began to unravel. The National Enquirer had been investigating Tiger's alleged affair with nightclub hostess Rachel Uch. When confronted with the evidence, Tiger's carefully constructed world began to collapse. Dozens of women came forward claiming they had been involved with Tiger during his marriage. The names kept coming: Kalika Mokwon, Jamie Grubbs, Corey Rist, Jocelyn James, and many others. Each revelation was more shocking than the last. The world was shocked. Here was a man who had been portrayed as the perfect athlete, husband, and father, and suddenly he was exposed as someone living a double life of unprecedented deception. Elin, who had always stayed silent, suddenly found her life turned upside down. Paparazzi followed her everywhere. Headlines screamed betrayal. Tabloids speculated about her every move. And through it all, Elin didn't say a word. But behind closed doors she was going through the most painful chapter of her life. The man she had trusted, the father of her children, had been living a double life of betrayal and deception. The extent of Tiger's infidelity was staggering. Reports suggested he had been involved with over a dozen women throughout their marriage. The scandal was one of the biggest in sports history, dominating news cycles for months. Tiger held a press conference in February 2010, admitting his wrongs and apologizing publicly. He spoke about his Buddhist faith, his time in therapy, and his commitment to becoming a better person, but the damage was already done. Their marriage couldn't survive the betrayal. Elin had been humiliated on a global stage, her private pain becoming public entertainment. The divorce proceedings were intense and closely watched. In August 2010, Elin and Tiger finalized their divorce. She was awarded a settlement estimated between $100 million and $110 million, with additional provisions for child support and custody arrangements. But for Elin, the money didn't fix what had been broken. Her trust, her sense of security, and her faith in love had all been shattered. Many wondered what she would do next. Would she stay in the spotlight? Would she write a tell-all book? Would she disappear? For a long time she chose silence. She focused on her children, kept a low profile, and slowly began rebuilding her life on her own terms. While the world kept watching Tiger's every move, tracking his return to golf and his struggles with injuries and personal demons, Elin quietly went back to school. She enrolled at Rollins College in Winter Park, Florida, pursuing a degree in psychology. She didn't seek attention or special treatment. She sat in class like everyone else, did her assignments and earned her degree through hard work and dedication. The other students initially recognized her, but she quickly became just another student, appreciated for her intelligence and work ethic rather than her famous ex-husband. In 2014, she graduated with top honors, earning a Bachelor of Arts degree in psychology. She even gave the graduation speech, a moment that represented her personal triumph over adversity, and in it, she never mentioned the scandal. Instead, she spoke about hard work, healing and second chance. She talked about the importance of resilience and the power of education to transform lives. While the world moved on, Elin began truly living. She bought a $12 million mansion in North Palm Beach, Florida, but kept her life private. The home was her sanctuary, a place where she could raise her children away from the media circus. She didn't do magazine interviews. She didn't go on talk shows. She stayed focused on her family, her education and her healing. Over time she started dating again, but she was careful and selective. She had learned hard lessons about trust and wasn't willing to rush into anything. Eventually she found love with former NFL player Jordan Cameron. Cameron had played tight end for several NFL teams, including the Cleveland Browns and Miami Dolphins. He was known for his athletic ability and his quiet, thoughtful personality, qualities that appealed to Elin. Their relationship developed slowly and privately. Cameron understood the importance of discretion and respected Elin's need for privacy. In 2019, they had a child together, a baby boy named Philip, and in that moment, Elin's life came full circle. From heartbreak to hope, from betrayal to rebirth, she had found happiness again.
Her relationship with Tiger also evolved in unexpected ways. They co-parented their children with maturity and respect that surprised many observers. Despite everything that had happened, they put their children first, attending school events together and maintaining a united front when it came to Sam and Charlie's well-being. Tiger even said in interviews that Elin was one of his best friends, a statement that spoke to both their growth as individuals and their commitment to their children. Their ability to come together for their kids, despite everything that happened, impressed many. It showed growth, and it showed that Elin had found peace, not in the spotlight, but outside of it. This mature approach to co-parenting benefited their children tremendously. Sam and Charlie were able to maintain relationships with both parents, without being caught in the middle of adult conflicts. They attended Tiger's golf tournaments when they wanted to, and they also had a stable home life with their mother. What's even more surprising is how she looks today. Photos of her at events or with her children show a woman who looks happier, healthier, and more at peace than ever. Time has been kind to her, not just physically, but emotionally. You can see the difference. The pain in her eyes is gone. In its place is calm, confidence, strength. At 44, Elin radiates a different kind of beauty than she did in her 20s. It's not just about her physical appearance, though she remains strikingly beautiful. It's about the way she carries herself with purpose, confidence, and inner peace. She has found her own identity outside of being someone's wife or ex-wife. Her transformation is evident in rare public appearances, whether she's at one of her children's school events or occasionally photographed during family outings. She appears genuinely happy and content. She dresses elegantly but comfortably, often seen in casual wear that reflects her down-to-earth personality. Her smile is genuine, her posture confident, and her overall demeanor peaceful. Elin Nordegren never asked to be famous. She never chased cameras or headlines. But when the world crashed around her, she stood strong. She protected her children, rebuilt her life, and refused to be defined by scandal. Her silence wasn't weakness, it was power. In a time when everyone was shouting, Elin's quiet grace said more than words ever could. She has become a master of living life on her own terms. She chooses when to be public and when to remain private. She has built a life that prioritizes her children's well-being, her own mental health, and her personal relationship. She has shown that it's possible to emerge from public humiliation stronger and more authentic than before. Today she lives a life most people know nothing about, and that's exactly how she wants it. She's not an influencer, she's not chasing fame. She's a mother, a partner, and a woman who found her way back from one of the most painful public betrayals in history, and maybe that's the most powerful story of all. Her journey reminds us that it's not about what breaks you, it's about how you rebuild, about the strength it takes to rise, not with noise but with purpose. Elin Nordegren's transformation isn't just physical, it's emotional, mental, and deeply inspiring. And for anyone who has ever been hurt, betrayed or broken, her story is proof that healing is possible. She has demonstrated that grace under pressure isn't about being perfect, it's about handling imperfection with dignity. She has shown that sometimes the most powerful response to betrayal is not revenge, but rebuilding. And she has proved that a woman can emerge from the most difficult circumstances not just intact, but stronger than before. Her story continues to inspire people around the world who face their own challenges with infidelity, divorce, and public humiliation. She has become an inadvertent role model for resilience, showing that it's possible to maintain dignity while rebuilding your life from the ground up. If Elin's transformation shocked you too, like, subscribe and share her incredible story with someone who needs to hear.